Who do you think you are? How dare you say that Cherry doesn't have any potential for dancing?
Whitney was left speechless the moment she saw Tanya heading towards her. Shaken and embarrassed, she hastily got into her car and sped away.
Hello, I'm Tanya Turner. Cherry is very talented at dancing.
Miss Smith has done so much for her daughter. She's amazing.
Nora's still sleeping at home, and here I am dealing with Cherry's bullies. I would say I am the amazing one.
Suddenly, Tanya notices Whitney filming them from her car and shoots her a sharp look.
To Mr. Lowe's office.
Whitney arrives at the office, visibly troubled, finding her husband, Bob Lowe.
Hello, darling?
Dear, I might be in trouble.
An anxious Whitney plays the recorded video and explains the situation by showing the video.
I've already checked her background. She only has a mother and no father.
Do you want me to get her a father? Where's the problem?
And no father. Tanya's so arrogant. She would never step up like that for just anybody. Where does this child come from? Is her mother someone powerful?
There are only a few families more powerful than us in New York. You don't have to worry. This whole Tanya thing is probably just a coincidence.
Well, then I will relax. Her mother's only gone to all this trouble to get Tanya because she wants Cherry to take Sinead's place in the dance.
Bob was happy to comfort his wife, but he was getting late to discuss his future partnership plans with Mr. Hunt. He arrives at the Hunt Corporation, and when he enters Justin's office, he is taken aback after seeing Pete.
Why does that child look so familiar? Is it a boy or a girl?
Bob realizes the child was the same one from the video Whitney had just shown him.
Mr. Bob, I had to look at your presentation, but I'm not interested.
Mr. Hunt, this piece of land is really something that only comes by once in a blue moon. Are you sure you don't want to consider it further?
Thank you. See the guests out, Sean.
Bob, sensing resistance, stands awkwardly. Sean leads him out. Bob attempts to grasp the situation, seeking answers from Sean.
We had a great proposal. Why is Mr. Hunt turning this down?
Mr. Hunt is in a bad mood today.
Bob senses an undercurrent of tension. Meanwhile, Justin confronts Pete about a personal matter.
Are you going to cut your hair or not?
Pete, engrossed in his desk work, lifts his head and meets Justin's gaze.
No.
Justin frowns and is unimpressed by Pete.
Your hair's getting too long. It's time for a trim.
I said no.
Justin, torn between fatherly concern and professional demeanor, contemplates his son's choice.
Pete, it's becoming excessive. Consider cutting it.
Justin was very tempted to force his son to cut his hair, but the family doctor had cautioned him that these strange changes in his son's mood and desires might be a sign of mental illness. Justin swallows his anger.
How can I convince you to cut it?
Here's an option, Daddy. Impress Mommy.
It's the other way around, Pete. Your mommy is the one trying to impress me.
Really? Are you still deciding?
How about this? We compromise. Trim it a bit, and we will find a way to impress mommy together.
Pete considers the proposal, contemplating the delicate balance between family dynamics and personal choices.
Deal, but only a little trim.
Justin nods and realizes that navigating family affairs might be more complex than his usual business dealings. Suddenly, Sean interrupts with an invitation.
Mr. Hunt, you have an invitation from Golden Sunshine Kindergarten for their anniversary celebration.
I will go if there's nothing else scheduled.
Justin, intrigued, decides to break his routine. Sean, slightly taken aback, quickly adapts to his boss's unexpected decision. Back at school, Miss Lynn walks Cherry to her dance lessons and shares a few words of encouragement.
I don't know whether I'm right or wrong in bringing you here. Your mother got Miss Turner to speak up for you.
Don't worry, Miss Lynn. I won't cry.
Miss Lynn, touched by Cherry's resolve, watches her leave the studio.
You have a lot of catching up to do on your basics, Cherry Smith. Go to the side, do your stretching, and practice your splits. Join the group after you are done.
Cherry, now more compliant, heads to the wall, ready to prove herself to Whitney. Suddenly, Whitney's cell phone rings. Recognizing her husband's unique ringtone, she pauses the class.
Hello, darling. What can I do for you?
As Whitney talked to her husband, Cherry sees that the other children were all playing, so she decides to take a break.
Cherry Smith!
Cherry jumps in shock. She looks over to see Whitney glaring at her. But suddenly, Whitney hears her husband's anxious voice coming from the other end.
You need to be nicer to that little girl.
What?
Her father is Justin Hunt.
Whitney's eyes widen in horror as she absorbs the shocking information.
He rejected our partnership because he was in a bad mood about something going on with his child.
Justin Hunt? Cherry is Justin Hunt's child?
Before she could digest the revelation, Bob abruptly ends the call, leaving Whitney with a sense of urgency. Whitney turns her attention back to Cherry, who had been frozen in fear. The other children, sensing the tension, disperse, leaving Cherry alone.
Mommy's here to lecture you now. I can't wait to watch you cry.
Cherry, my sweet Cherry.
Uh-oh, Mommy looks calm. That's how you know you're really in trouble.
Do you want to be in the center?
Both Cherry and Sinead are caught off guard by the unexpected offer.
Mommy, you're a bad person. The center position is mine. Yes.
Okay, you are in the center position from today onwards. Don't practice splits anymore. You can return to the group now.
Whitney shifts her attention to console a wailing Sinead, trying to justify the change.
Stop crying. You'll be standing next to her. It's no different from being in the center.
Sinead continues crying, refusing to be consoled. Cherry, unfazed, rejoins the group. Jerry's popularity soared as kids wished to be close to her, impressed by her charm and confidence. But Brandon, a bold little boy, tries to assert his authority on her.
I'm the boss of this kindergarten. If you do what I say, I will take care of you in the future.
I'm the boss here.
I'm Brendan Smith. The Smiths are a really important family. That makes me the boss here.
What's so great about using your family background to compete with others? Let's compete in other things. The winner will be the boss.
Only boys can be bosses. If you can become a boy by tomorrow, then you can be my boss.
Okay, you gotta keep your word.
Brandon set a condition, thinking he had outsmarted her. Cherry accepts the challenge, ready for the unexpected. Later that day, Cherry excitedly initiates a video call with her brother Pete.
I missed you, Pete.
I miss you, and Mommy too.
In that case, can we switch for a while?
Haven't you started school now? Do you have to wear a skirt with your uniform?
But someone's bullying me in school. He wants me to be his sidekick.
Say no more. I will switch with you.
Pete, alarmed, immediately agrees to switch, wanting to protect his sister.
We have dance lessons every day for the performance during the celebrations, so you will also have to practice.
Pete reluctantly agrees and prepares for the unexpected task. Cherry guides Pete through the dance moves over the video call, determined to help him fit in.
Let's practice the dance moves, Pete.
Pete obediently follows Cherry's instructions, and Justin quietly enters Pete's study to find him immersed in the dance practice.
Okie dokie. I'm doing great, huh?
Pete tries a step and turns to spot Justin. Tension fills the room as their eyes meet. Justin shuts the door and leaves.
What's wrong, Pete?
That was Daddy.
How will Justin respond to what he just witnessed? And what consequences will it have for Cherry? How will Pete navigate the challenges of fitting into a world he's unfamiliar with?
Hi, Nora here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Saving Nora Now with the link in the description.